Hello, everybody. Welcome to Towns of 505. Welcome to the channel if you're new, or welcome back if you were a lovely subscriber. Today, uh, me, Bryer, and Scott will be doing our second last album exchange on my YouTube channel. Yes, second last. I will be doing one more, and I will be taking. I will be departing the album exchange because with school coming up and work coming up, I just feel like doing the album exchange has been a little much, especially with 6 people. So sorry, sorry to the people who look forward to these album exchange videos, but that's just how life happens. How you doing, Jacob Martin? I'll I'll try to hold on. I can't show. Yep.
There it goes.
Okay, yeah, it's much different than doing it on the phone. I mean, doing it on the computer. So, what's up, Jacob Martin? Thank you for coming on here. But today, again, like I said, we'll be doing our album exchange. We'll be doing Jacob Martin's pick, Adam's pick, and Jason's pick first. And starting. Okay, yes, Jason. Thank you for coming on here, Jason. I know it's been rough with work because I've been working a night shift, so I'm very very sorry. It's been delayed. By the way, it's this man's series right here. He's the one who came up with it, so go give him a follow. I mean, go give him a subscribe. Sorry, my mindset on
Go watch
TikTok.
his latest video. It's amazing.
Yeah, I like it. But again, thank you, Jason, for coming on here, showing some love. But starting out first time we will be reviewing is John Mayer's album. Bryer, what are your thoughts on the John Mayer album?
Well, I'm just gonna come out saying after last time with the whole Jonathan Colton fiasco, this was a breath of fresh air. uh, but yeah, I mean, I knew of John Mayer. I mean, he's a person who gets brought up from time to time, but I never sat down and listened to his music, and so, but yeah, overall, I had a pleasant time with this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just go right into the songs here. Starts out with No Such Thing. You have an acoustic guitar, but there's some electric guitar in there as well. The bass was pretty audible, which was pretty nice. Has a good overall. The song has a good upbeat nature with big keyboards in there. I'd say my favorite part were the verses. The chorus was solid, but I think the verses, I really like the melody of it. Um, just a very pleasant way to start the album. Why Georgia, more on the chill side. Again, his vocals were pretty nice. I can definitely say that I definitely enjoyed his vocals for the most part. Yeah, but overall, pretty solid track. My Stupid Mouth has a good guitar intro. Melody was good, very strong. Your Body is a Wonderland. Again, it's I liked it, but there's definitely songs where I don't have too much to say. It was kind of just pretty solid, but nothing really that makes it stand out too much from the rest. But we have Neon, and the guitar playing again was really good. I know he's a fairly respected guitar player, I think. So I definitely kind of see that. But this one also had a good groove to it. Really like the more jazzy feel on Neon, so that was a pretty nice one. City Love again has a more chill vibe, which it was pretty fine. 83. There was some kind of percussion, but overall there was nothing too much else that I was a big fan of. It was kind of just okay. 3x5. Back to a nice good melody to that one, but again, not too much to say there. Love Song for No One, slightly more rocking. It was another okay song, but it was pretty standard for the most part. But again, not bad. Back to You. Songs being this is when oh yeah, I wrote down. This is kind of when the rock songs start to kind of blend. At least to me. It was again, it was very decent, and the guitar solo was pretty good. But again, it's just overall was kind of just it was just fine. Great indoors. Back to some more chill stuff, which was okay. Not myself. Nice guitar and keyboard. Really like the blending of those two on that one. Again, it's very similar to other songs, but it just kind of peaks up a little bit more than the rest. I still like the melody to it. So I think it's pretty nice. So then you have, well, I don't know if this is on streaming because apparently on my CD copy, there's actually a song called Blank. And you know what that is? Just 4 seconds of silence. I have no idea why I'm pretty sure it's just on the CD for some reason, but I just wanted to point that out. But I just wrote down one thing.
Hold on a second. It might be a hidden track. Have you gone into that song and then pushed back and held back and rewind? Because sometimes there's songs hidden in the pre-gap and you have to rewind it to hear the actual song.
I have no idea, but I didn't try that. But you do get the actual last song with St. Patrick's Day, and it was a pretty pleasant song. It was a nice way to close out the album, I would say. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go right into my top 5 favorite tracks here. Number 5, I have Why Georgia. Number 4, sorry, 3 by 5. Number 3, My Stupid Mouth. The number 2, City Love, and my number 1 is gonna be Neon. And I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Again, it was a pretty solid album. I dug it. Is it like the greatest thing I've heard? Probably not to me, but it was still enjoyable. There's some good guitar playing, and as I mentioned a couple times, I think his voice is pretty solid. Definitely fit the vibe. But yeah, it was a pretty nice album. So I'm gonna go with an 8 out of 10.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the track list for all these albums. I made a playlist with it. Okay, so we are on John Mayer, Room for Squares. This was John Mayer's debut album, so it's interesting hearing his early work here. Okay, got everything pulled up. First song is No Such Thing. I really like that one. I like the vibe of it. I like the kind of the way he strums the guitar, and the chorus is really good. They like, I want to run through the halls of my high school. I want to scream at the top of my lungs. The way he just kind of switches into his higher register there. Really good. I really like that one. Why Georgia, another really good song. I like this whole album is just kind of vibey. I like that about it. My Stupid Mouth, another good one. I like the storytelling on that one, where it's like, I spoke up. I'm never going to speak up again. My stupid mouth is getting me in trouble. Your Body is a Wonderland. This was the big hit on this album. It's another good song. Jacob, for whatever reason, didn't like it. I thought it was good. My favorite song on this album, I'm going to go ahead and give that away, is Neon. I love the guitar playing on that. John Mayer is a fantastic guitar player, and sometimes on his albums, like, you don't really get to hear that. Like, if you hear him live, especially with the John Mayer trio, you can really hear how great of a guitar player he is. But sometimes he plays a little restrained on his records, which is a mark of a good guitar player, knowing when to play restrained and when to go crazy. But this one, he really gets to kind of let loose with the jazzier guitar riff on here. It's apparently really hard to play. I've never attempted to play it, but I've heard that this song is kind of the bane of some guitar players' existence, because you have especially the do-do-do-do-do-do part. Yeah, great song, and I love the chorus. The buzzing like neon, neon, and I got Hotel California neon sign in the background there. City Love is another really good song with another chill vibe. I love I like the storytelling on that one as well, talking about like a relationship that goes on in New York City, and I love the reference to The Sound of Silence in that song. That's really good. 83. That's another one of my favorite songs on this album. Kind of talking about how John Mayer he said he was 6 in 83, and talking about, Superman and listening to the radio. I love the line where he says, it's so nostalgic hearing Wrapped Around Your Finger. I think he's referring to the Police song, because that came out in 83. which that's a fantastic song. I love that song as well. So great call on that one. 3 by 5 is a song from his EP that they ended up putting on this album. That one's really good as well. Love Song for No One, really good too. After Love Song for No One, I will say that is kind of where the album kind of starts to lose me a little bit. I like all these last few songs, but I'm like, we didn't have to have this many songs on this album. Back to You, Great Indoors, Not Myself, and St. Patrick's Day are all good, but I feel like, after Love Song for No One, it kind of lost my attention a bit. I still really enjoyed this album, though. I know, like I said, I like all those songs. It's just, I don't know, those last several songs kind of felt kind of samey to me. And I mentioned in passing that this was my favorite album on the Exchange. It is actually not anymore, but it's still one of my favorites on here because I like everything from No Such Thing up to Love Song to No One. I just feel like the other songs kind of make the runtime feel a little bit longer, and especially since all the songs sound the same at the end. But I still really do like this album. It's fantastic. My top 5 songs are number 5, My Stupid Mouth. Number 4, 83. Sorry, did I say that right? Number 4, 83. Probably because there's numbers in the title. Number 4 is 83. Number 3, Your Body is a Wonderland. Number 2, No Such Thing. And number 1, I already said it was Neon. And I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. So, Jason, this more than made up for Jonathan Colton's best concert ever. I love this album, and it is on my Discogs want list now. I want to buy it. So,
yeah,
2 thumbs up for me. The last several songs, maybe I just need to listen to them more. That's what it is. I've listened to this album 3 times now. I listened to it once in college because one of my roommates was real into John Mayer, and he bought this album and played it for me. And then I listened to it 2 times between when Jason suggested it and today. So maybe I just need to listen to it more. But as of right now, it's a 9.
Cool. I'm wondering if I close the app, if you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
but we can't see you.
Cool. Yeah. I'm not concerned about looks because I need to see the tracks.
See me, hear me.
Listen to you. As for me, I'm sorry, Jim. I'm not a fan of this album. I mean, if you know me, you know I'm not into 2000s albums, more current stuff. Just me. I'm not, and I'm not a fan of the vocal styles he does, in my opinion. But there were some songs I did really enjoy. Why Georgia, I thought was a really good song. Neon, I enjoyed that one. City Love, I thought that was a good one. In my opinion, I enjoyed the last 2 songs, Not Myself, and the last song, St. Patrick's Day. I thought those 2 songs were really, really well.
Oh dear.
What happened? What happened? I heard something.
Yeah, you cut out for a bit.
Oh, that's my bad. But you guys
I heard
right?
I heard everything.
Okay, good. But I like I said, my favorite song on the album, I agree with Scott. I actually really like Neon. That's a really, really good song. Maybe, I mean, there are songs I do enjoy. Maybe if I listen to them more, I'll get used to the kind of vocal style he does. I mean, it's an album that I didn't hate. I didn't hate the album. It just wasn't one of those albums where it clicked with me on first and second listen, but I'll definitely listen to it more in the future, though. So, as for my top 5, number 5, St. Patrick's Day. Number 4, Neon. No. I meant to say, sorry, Not Myself. Number 3, Why Georgia. Number 2, City Love, and number 1, Neon. Sorry, like I said, I'm very, very tired. It was a rough day today for me. Had a lot of yard work, but That's my top five. As for my score, I'm gonna agree with Jacob. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10, but it is subject to change though. I can definitely see it becoming like an 8 out of 10 for me, like 8.5. If I listen to it more and let the album grow on me, but I don't think it's a bad album. It's just not an album that me and the album saw eye to eye. But again, has potential. But that's our thoughts on that album. Next album we'll be covering is Hootie and the Blowfish, an album that Jacob Martin had suggested. Bryer, what are your thoughts on Hootie and the Blowfish?
Right. So, of course, this is not the first time I've heard this album. Of course, funny enough, Jacob actually requested it on my Patreon page. So, and I think I was taking notes while I was listening to it at the same time. So that was good. That was multitasking. It's good to do it sometimes. But anyway, so a lot of the stuff is kind of what I wrote, and I did rewatch my reaction video to kind of make sure it's still a lot of what I said still stand. And I will say I do like this album quite a bit. It's not like my go-to genre of music. It's not like my favorite type. But there were some songs I did enjoy, and so I'm going to go through them quickly here. I think it starts out really good with Hannah Jane. I really like the very feel-good quality of it, and I do enjoy Darius Rucker's vocals. I think he has a pretty good voice, and definitely fits the style that they're doing here. And just the album, just the song, kind of sets the tone for the album very good. So it's a very strong opening song. Um, then you have Hold My Hand. It starts on a good note. You definitely hear a little bit more of a soul sort of approach, especially in the vocal department. But really quickly, it's starting to do that thing that a lot of this type of music tends to do. It's kind of not much else to say about it. That was kind of okay. Didn't really stick with me, but it's okay. Let Her Cry was one of the longer songs. There was some good organ playing, which was kind of nice, and there's some nice bass runs, which was I didn't expect to hear. There's some good guitar melodies, has a very melancholic feel, and just the vocals just have a very longing aspect to it, which I thought was really good. So that was a good song. Only Want to Be With You has a very good uplifting feel. Really nice drumming. Then you have Running from an Angel. This is where you hear a little bit of that country influence, which I'm always hit or miss with. But this was okay. It's actually fairly memorable. I actually kind of like that one. That is one that actually worked for me. Then I'm Going Home, good bass line. Really like the organ playing. And then it starts out really strongly, but again, as the song kind of progresses, it starts to kind of lose me a bit. But again, it's okay. Drowning, more rocking. Good guitar playing. Again, a little bit on the generic side. I do get fatigued after 5 minutes, but again, it's not bad. Time, again, has a good promising vocal here. It's definitely more up my alley. I like the guitar solo, so I enjoyed Time quite a bit. Definitely one of the more memorable songs for me. Look Away, some good parts. I prefer the verses over the choruses, but overall it's very decent. Not Even the Trees. Now this one was definitely a highlight for me. Even when I first heard it, that was kind of one that really stuck with me. I like the guitar melody, the melodic bass playing on here. I just think it's really great. And then the organ just adds a lot more texture to it. So yeah, Not Even the Trees is a really excellent song. And then you have Goodbye, has more piano with the organ as well. Very solid. Vocals are pretty decent on that one. So, but of course you have a little extra track here, a little hidden track with Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child, which it's an a cappella track. I mean, by default, it's kind of is pretty much my least favorite. But I did research that he wrote that not long after his mother died, so it kind of makes the title make more sense. And so on that level, I respect it. But is it a song I need to listen to? Probably not. But still, in my top five, number 5, I have Let Her Cry. Number 4, Hannah Jane. Number 3, Time. Number 2, Running from an Angel. And my number 1 is going to be Not Even the Trees. And for a score, in retrospective, because I did listen to the album again, I think when I did listen to it the first time, I gave it a 7.5. But I think I'm going to raise it up just slightly more. I'm going to bump this up to an 8 out of 10 now. I think it does kind of grow on you the more you listen to it. It's still not like my go-to genre of music, but there are some nice songs on here, and I think it's pretty well done. So 8 out of 10.
This one was right up my alley. This one falls under the alt-rock umbrella, part of the kind of the alt-rock movement of the 90s. And whereas stuff like Nirvana or Pearl Jam or Soundgarden is more on the heavier, grungy end of the alt-rock spectrum, this is more on the lighter end. And so you kind of lumped in with the same stuff as like the Counting Crows or something like that. And I really enjoyed this. I've listened to it twice. The first time I liked it, but this time I listened to it again today, and I really liked it. Some people say that Darius Rucker's voice kind of just sounds like he's imitating Eddie Vedder, which I can kind of hear, but there's enough that gives him his own unique personality. I definitely hear the influence, but he's definitely his own singer, and he's a very good singer as well. His voice fits really well for this. I like some of the country influence as well. Of course, Darius Rucker would go on to have a country solo career in the late 2000s and the early 2010s. All the songs on here were pretty solid. Really good, actually. Hannah Jane, really great opener. And I love the bass line at the beginning, where everything just cuts out and just goes do-do-do-do. The bass work on this album is really underappreciated. I don't know what the bass player's name is. I'm just going to call him the Blowfish. If you know, you know. But the bass work from the Blowfish is really good on this whole album. But this is just one of the instances that I really noticed it. The drumming is good too. Hold My Hand, one of the big hits. I am completely different. Or I have a completely different opinion on this than Bryer. I love this one. This one is such an earworm. Hold my hand. And the harmonies in the chorus are so good. And his vocals are just so soulful here with I'm gonna love you the best that I can. Do, 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 do. Oh, it's so good. And then you get a 1, 2, 3 punch here. These next 3 songs are like the 3 singles on this album. Let Her Cry is the next one, and man, another fantastic song. I love that one. There's some great storytelling on here, and again, the vocals. Oh, so good. Then you get probably the most well-known song in this album, and the first song that I heard from Hootie and the Blowfish, Only Want to Be With You. This one kind of has a little more of a country influence to it. The guitar sounds very folksy, and I love the line where he says I'm such a baby the Dolphins make me cry. At first you're like, what does that mean? He's talking apparently about the Miami Dolphins and about how they were on a losing streak, and whichever season that this album came out in. I think it was 93 or 94. But there's also some lyrical references to Bob Dylan in here as well. I'm Tangled Up in Blue is one of them. And then he even says, isn't Bobby so cool? I think he's referring to Bob Dylan there. But those Bob Dylan references got him a lawsuit. Bob Dylan heard that and tried to sue him for including Tangled Up in Blue in the lyrics, which is sad because I feel like it was more just an homage rather than trying to steal lyrics. But this song is also very catchy, and the chorus is really good. All I want to be with you. What else can I do? I only want to be with you. Really good. Running from an Angel, another really good song. This was probably the most country sounding song here on the album. I think there was even some harmonica in there that goes wah, 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 wah. I'm Going Home is another good song as well. I liked that one. Drowning. This one was one that I kind of overlooked the first time I heard it. This one was one of the big hidden gems here on the album. He was kind of tackling racism on this song, and it's a very sad story. I was really listening to it, I was like, man, this is kind of intense, but the way that he tackled the subject on this song was really good, and I really liked the instrumentation on there as well. Time, that's another good one. Look Away, those are both great. And you got Not Even the Trees, Breyer's favorite song on the album, and I can see why. This is another one of the big hidden gems here for me. The organ and, like he was saying, the bass. The bass just seems like it's just going all the time on here. Really good. And then you get Goodbye, the big ballad at the end, which is kind of more like dramatic. And after all the kind of more, just kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's a completely different feel than the rest of the album, but it ends it so well. It's kind of it has more of a grand feel than the rest of the album, and I love that. And yeah, you got Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child, but I'm not going to count that as like an actual track. For me, it just feels kind of like the epilogue to the album, and I feel like it does it in a good way because it kind of leaves on a kind of a haunting note, especially after Goodbye. So, what are my top 5 songs on this album? Number 5, I've got Hannah Jane. Number 4, Not Even the Trees. And my top 3 are the 3 singles. I'm not going to have any hot takes on this one, but number 3 is Hold My Hand. Number 2 is Only Want to Be With You. And number 1, I'm going to go with Let Her Cry. And for the first time in the album exchange history, I am giving an album that someone suggested a 10 out of 10. I haven't done that yet. But this one I thought was really good.
Cool. Well, I'm going to read some comments before I continue. I'm a hit and miss on the John Mayer album. He's a great guitar player, and I like some of his songs, but I mix on his vocal styles. I'm the same way. No Such Thing is usually the best song on the album. And Jason gives scores on the albums, the ones that they gave. Your Body is a Wonderland is cringe with the capital C.
Oh.
Jacob, yeah, it's the same thing with the score. Yeah, and pretty much gives the reason why I gave it a 6 out of 10. My main issue with Your Body is Wonderland is the vocals, the way John Mayer sings the song, which is supposed to be romantic, comes off as creepy. That's fair. And gave scores again. If you guys enjoy the Hootie album, all their other albums are really good as well.
I'll definitely check out some more Hootie after listening to that, because that was really good.
Darius has some good solo country albums as well. Also Back to Then, his awful R&B album from 2002. Don't recommend that one. Not only that, Darius Rucker had a Bob Dylan connection. His biggest solo hit, Wagon Wheel, was on unfinished Bob Dylan track. Okay, that's cool. My thoughts on Hootie and Blowfish, I like the album. I was expecting to dislike the album. I, for the longest time, did not like All I Want to, that the big song on the album, I Only Want to Be With You. But listening to the album and listening to that song, I've actually enjoyed it more. Let me pull up the track listing. So, Hannah Jane, I think that's a really good album opener. Hold My Hand, I think that's also a pretty great song. Let Her Cry, I think is an okay song. Only Want to Be With You, definitely a huge highlight on the album. Running From an Angel, I think it's okay. Going Home, I think that's pretty good. Drowning, I think it's okay. Time, I really enjoyed. Look Away, wasn't crazy about it. Not Even the Trees, I liked it, but it's not one of my favorites. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna be the oddball out on that one. Goodbye, I think that's a great album closer. Motherless Child, I'm the same way with Bryer. I'm like it's good for what it is, but knowing the backstory on it, but it's not like something that I would go back to on its own. It's one of those, like, I respect what you did there, but not something that I'm like, wow, this is like a masterpiece kind of things. As for my top 5, my number 5 gonna be Goodbye. Number 4, Time. Number 3, Hannah Jane. Number 2, Hold My Hand. And my favorite song on the album, Call Me Basic, I'm gonna go with Only Want to Be With You.
That was my favorite song until I heard Let Her Cry more.
Sometimes which is rare because normally you don't see me do that. So, you know, guys get a rare one out of me. As for my score, I'm gonna give this 8.5 out of 10. So, uh, again, kind of like Jason's pick. It is subject to change. I do expect to like it more in the future. Just I don't plan on listening to it much. I'm not that big of a Hootie the Blowfish guy, but I am glad Jacob suggested it though. It was a pretty good listen.
Hey,
His
Nick, do you
favorite song
Hootie
would
or
also
do
be
you want the
Universal Living in.
blowfish?
I know. Right, guys? But while Bryer and Scott review the next song, I do gotta charge my phone. It's at 17%. But speaking of that, next pick is by, let me look it up. I can't even remember the name of the guy. Newton Faulkner. I think that's the name how you pronounce it. Faulkner.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Thank you. But Bryer, as I go up to charge my stuff, what are your thoughts on that song?
Charge
What are your
my
thoughts on the album?
phone.
All right, so of course Newton Faulkner, never heard of him ever in my life. So went out and got it, and let's just go ahead. Let's just jump into this thing. So first song, Pulling Teeth. I looked it up. It came out in 2016, and the second it started, I'm like, yep, that's 2016, all right. And then, production is actually fine. I don't mind the production too much. But aside from that, I don't have much else to say about it. It's his voice is fine, but it's just this is like the number one problem I have with this album. It is painfully average. It is like just like kind of your run of the mill kind of pop folk sort of thing at this time, which is not bad, but it didn't really speak to me. So Pulling Teeth, it was kind of a decent opening. It was just okay. Soon, acoustic guitar sounds all right. Didn't sound too bad. There was some good bass, and once again, the production was fine. Pre-chorus was actually pretty. I like the pre-chorus, but aside from that, again, not really that memorable. It's another okay song, and I did like his vocals a bit more on this one, but yeah, just nothing really that remarkable. Brick by Brick has a very standard computer pop beat, which was, whatever. Chorus was okay, but once again, just nothing special. Clouds, guitar is nice. The soundscape was nice at first, and the chorus was solid. So I think this was definitely one of the better songs. This one stood out to the most, but still, I'm not going to say it's like an amazing song. Pick Up Your Broken Heart, acoustic guitar, gets repetitive, whatever. Long Shot, more layered vocals, has a bit more stripped back approach. It's all right. Write It on Your Skin, I got nothing. Moving on. In the Morning, better vibe on this one. Keyboard touches kind of helped a lot. This one definitely stood out a lot more. I thought this was the most solid song here. Against the Grain, I got nothing again, but you guys falsetto coming in, which was definitely something. Then Sugar in the Snow, left feeling nothing is all I wrote. So yeah, again, it's not the worst album I've heard. I definitely prefer this over Jonathan Colton, but that's not saying a whole lot. So number 5, because I did like these 5 are just the songs I liked the most, that were the most decent. Number 5, I have Pick Up Your Broken Heart. Number 4, Brick by Brick. Number 3, Soon. 2, Clouds. And number 1 is In the Morning. And then for score, gotta apologize to Adam. I mean, I've got to give this a 6 out of 10. Again, I didn't mind the production. I think that was like the best part. But again, I thought his voice was just kind of basic. Nothing really stood out too much. And Yeah, it just didn't really leave much of an impact on me. But there were some songs I thought were okay enough. And another positive, it's definitely shorter. It's definitely shorter than the last two albums we've checked out so far. But other than that, 6 out of 10.
So Jason says that he loves albums with a guy and an acoustic guitar. I liked the John Mayer album, which was a guy and acoustic guitar.